Today, in today's video, we're going to go through the check-in process. So that's when the renter brings the truck back, and the process we need to go through to check a truck back in and to ensure that we cover off on all the requirements for RCM, and also to make sure that any excess charges are covered and checking for damage. So the first thing we do is we do a visual inspection of the truck. We look for any damage to the truck. We do the circumference, so we walk around the truck. I tend to like to put my hand on it, just so that, in case I feel anything, but that's a personal preference. We then basically look up to make sure there's no damage on the ceilings or on the roof line. And if we're happy with that, we obviously come around to the back. So what we're going to check for in here is we're going to open up to make sure that everything's out of the back of the truck, that nothing's been left in there. To also have a look and see the level of cleanliness there is in the back, because we do expect renters to at least bring it back in a reasonable state. So if there was a lot of rubbish and debris and mud, we would encourage the customer to actually help us clean that out, because there would normally be a charge. But generally, if it's just dust and bits and pieces, it's fine. So then we want to check, obviously, by opening up the door. When we're in, if a trolley or a blanket has also been rented, we want to make sure those items are still in the truck, and tick that off mentally so that we know that those things have been returned as well. When we're happy with that, obviously close the door. Check that the chain is on and that basically everything's okay. We then do visual inspection on the driver's side, again checking top, bottom, looking for any damage. We then drop down to the cap, make sure it's on, and that there's nothing loose down there. We then come to the front, check the side and front, mirrors are okay, and then we'll do the internal inspection and check the kilometres and the fuel gauge. Now that we're inside the cab, things we want to check on are general state of the cleanliness of the cab. We want to make sure that any rubbish, fast food packets, crumbs, the usual sort of things have been removed from the cab. We're happy to do some basic cleaning, but naturally, if there's rubbish or debris, we would ask that the customer remove those things if they're still here. Otherwise, we just do it ourselves. That's not a problem. Then we want to check the fuel gauge. So naturally, the trucks go out full. They must come back in full. If the gauge is not full, you must alert the customer to it straight away that there will be additional charges for us to go and fill up the truck. Okay, so you want to double check to see that the fuel gauge is 100% full. You then want to make a note on a pad or a piece of paper of the closing kilometers, because when you go back in, you're going to need to input those into RCM to close the rental agreement. But otherwise, if everything in the cab looks fine, that basically concludes the check-in process. You must always remember to start the process by greeting the customer, asking if there were any issues or concerns. Most will tell you if there's a problem, which will be good. And then at the end of it, if the customer's still here, then to obviously thank them for the rental, thank them for their business, and then wish them well and see you next time. Thank you.